because when we say trust our own being, many times we separate ourselves out. In a sense, we don't even realize we're doing it, but we're saying trust my own being, so then I'm different from you or them or whatever. But in essence, when I say trusting my own being, I'm trusting the entire field, because that is who I am. I just happen to have this format going on right now for what I'm processing here in this now. And I'm probably in other nows. That's another thing that's been happening for me a lot lately, is I've been realizing how many other spaces I am in while I am also here, which is quantum. It's just another level of understanding of ourselves. But I've had a couple years ago, somebody said, I was with my daughter at a shop, and she worked there, and I went in to visit her, and her boss, when I left, her boss said, "Is your mother always that way?" So it makes me laugh a little, though, because he meant it in a good way, but he was just like, how can somebody be like loving and happy and kind and in that space of energy? Because every time I would come in, I would, be in that space, and they were just used to people coming in and complaining and sharing their woes and talking about all the stuff that they were dealing with. And I decided many years ago, the beginning of the journey was, I'm a creator being and it's all energy. So I can either, when somebody says, how are you? I can either allow my focus to feed the spaces of me that are good. And if there aren't a lot of them, if you can find one, that's the beginning. And if you have to create a little bit bigger connection to it in your head while you're getting there, that's a process you can do as well. But it expands. If I had to say a secret to it all, I took two concepts that are the same, but two ways of looking. I took the word I am, and I said, what are you putting on the other side of it, Andrea? And you need to be very adamant about whatever you're putting there, and you need to stick with it. And I loved what flooded into my mind as to what I would put on the other side of it. Totally was me, that space of me, that I am, was coming in and saying, this is who you are. Because I had never said it before, but all of a sudden it came flooding in. And it was, I am a higher dimensional being of light here to assist humanity. Boom. And I just began living from that I am. You can be any I am you want to be. And you notice we say, how are you? What do people say? I am blah, 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 blah. I am blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Many times they repeat that I am, and it's not a great I am, but they are solidifying that alignment. You spoke so clearly in the beginning when you said it's about alignment. It's all about alignment. Whatever's on the other side of your I am, you are. And the other side of it was when I was going to create that I am line, what propelled me, what pushed me forward into that level of that type of I am was, and I've said this before, was the concept that I heard in my head, when you die, who did you live for? You get one shot through as this person. You get one shot through as this unique experience. Who'd you do it for? Your pastor, the store clerk, your husband, your friend, your kid. Who'd you do it for? Every word you said, every experience you felt, was it for you? Mine weren't. Mine were maybe 40-60, maybe 50-50, but they weren't fully for me. I wasn't living from my joy. I was tampering. I was buffering. I was giving just enough to feel as if I was excited about the next day to some extent, but I wasn't fully in. And I just made the choice. And it was weird. It was weird because when I first stepped out, I had some really close family members that just had they had a hard time with some of the stuff I believed and was sharing on my social outlets and in my conversations with them. We would connect on the phone and all. It happened to happen during COVID, so I didn't have a lot of one-on-ones with people in person because everything shut down. But I know that that was all part of it too. Like, I really believe I aligned it all perfectly, because I wouldn't be talking to you right now. I mean, everything that happened in that space, it was the best year of my life. And I know that's so weird because so many people struggled with that year. But for me, it was the year I basically was born, in a sense, into the space of who I am right now. So, um, yeah, people left, but many more came. Many, there's no comparison. And I know that people that left were super close to me, but that's living from, I am a higher dimensional being of light who's here to assist humanity. How do you think that being looks at people who leave? With love, with love, with compassion, with understanding, no attachment at all. Perception is reality, and I can't control how people perceive their worlds. I can only control how I perceive my own. So I allow their perception to be what it is. I, mean no harm to no one, and I flow in the space that I am in. I stayed true to what I was doing, and I didn't allow all that extra outside stuff. It doesn't edify anyone. It's not of a vibrational space that I choose to align and or feed. And everything we allow our focus to connect with expands. So, yes, I am who you see in the 45 minutes you spend with me or wherever we connect. When I write you a message, that is the same being that closes her eyes at night and opens them in the morning. That is the same being who cleans her kid's bathroom. That is the same being who drives to the grocery store and picks up groceries. To be authentic, there's nothing better. There's nothing better than to be authentic, to know thyself, and to be thyself. Do I have a moment where I might say something very human? Yeah. Do I have a hang up about it? No, because I'm a higher dimensional being of light, and that's just getting in the head. Higher spaces of light, they live in the heart. Unending blessings, Divine One. Unending.